10 school counselors at the high school. I serve as the Naviance coordinator. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is giving you a little bit of a demo of how we use Naviance at the high school. And then I'll kick it over to Karen and she will explain how they use it at the middle school. And like we mentioned, please feel free to put questions in the chat while Karen is presenting. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can typing, and Karen's going to do the same vice versa for me. And then anything that we don't get to, we will answer at the end. So this is the homepage of Naviance. If you need to create an account or forgot your password, please reach out to your child's school counselor. They are able to reset it for you. You can also try clicking the forgot password or forgot username button. But if that doesn't work, start with your school counselor and they should be able to help you. There are some times where people get locked out. They try too many times. And then you can always reach out to me as well at the high school via email is best. And I will do my best to help you get logged in. First and foremost, a really big way that we use Naviance here at the high school is as a source of communication. So I'm going to click up here on this little email box, 19 messages, just to show you an idea of the types of messages that we send out. So once you get an account and you have an email with us, you will start to get a lot of emails from this Naviance Wobo. So feel free to filter through them. This is really one of the main ways that we disseminate information from the high school. So you can see things are on here about school programs like Delta GEMS, flu vaccines, welcome letter from your PTA president, and then special programs like the Harvard Medical School pre-college program. You can see we send out emails pretty regularly. So if you look at the dates here, we've sent out, a good handful just since the beginning of school. So different departments, different committees will reach out to us and say, hey, can you blast this out through Naviance? So one of the ways, especially as an underclassman, to get involved is just to be on the email list so that you're getting information from the high school. When you do get an account, your child gets one automatically, and very likely they're going to have one from middle school. So it's going to just roll over with them as they move up to the high school. But the landing pages start to look different in the high school. So we try to tailor the landing pages here on the right-hand side with the useful links per grade level. So this is my demo student, and my demo student is a junior. So you can see that we have useful links for juniors specifically, like the junior conference checklist, GPA calculator, college and career planning videos and presentations. These right now are links from last year's presentation. We're doing the presentation again in October, so we will update those. And actually all of these links, now that I'm looking at them, they're on the freshman page and the sophomore page as well. It's really just the junior conference checklist that is a little bit different, but it's meant to be a place where you can come for more information. Are there ways to access this information on the school website? Yes, but we try to make everything kind of like a one-stop shop for you so that you're able to access course descriptions and links to clubs, GPA calculators, sample high school transcripts, etc. So aside from these links on the right-hand side, we also assign tasks for your child to do. One of the tasks that's always up there from freshman year is to update your activities resume. And I will show you guys a little bit about the new features of the resume because they just changed them and made them a little more user-friendly, I think. So that's one of the things that we push really, right from freshman year is in addition to, your classes and challenging yourself and getting good grades to become involved and then to, record on an activities resume or on an extracurricular resume, the activities that you do. So jobs, sports, community service hours, clubs, all of that stuff. You want to come to Naviance to put it on your resume. And the resume feature is in the About Me tab right here under resume. And I will go through that a little bit later in the presentation. So that's always here as one of the tasks. The other task might be to complete a survey. This is for a junior, so we have a survey for them to complete for letters of recommendation for going to college. But as a freshman or as a sophomore, we have different surveys that we use to get to know the students a little bit better, find out about some of their interests so that we can help with college career and even scheduling to recommend classes that they might be interested in. At the top here, you'll see that there's, about 5 or 6 different tabs. The main tabs that we use at the high school are the colleges tab and the About Me tab. Ms. Paragros is going to go into a little bit more about the self-discovery and careers tab because those are lessons that she does at the middle school. We use them at the high school as well in sophomore and freshman year, but she's going to demo those sections for you. So the colleges tab is really where you're going to find all of your college related searches, college visits, where you can create your list, where you can find information about scholarships, where you can save scholarships, and all of that good stuff. I'm going to quickly go into the colleges I'm thinking about list. This is something that we show students starting in freshman year. And this list is meant to be a running list, all throughout high school where you can come in here and you can add schools, delete schools, and really just start to get to know more about the schools and research them. And then as you go through high school, you will have a GPA, you might take a PSAT, and this is a really great way where you can come in here with the lists with the schools that are on your list and click Compare Me. So this is where you will find, and again, as a freshman, you're not going to have a GPA or any sort of SAT score at the top here, but you will be able to come in and see what are the average SAT GPAs of students from West Orange High School who apply to these schools. So that's something that I really want to drive home to you guys is that the data from Naviance based on college data is West Orange High School specific. So it's not what University of Delaware is reporting as their GPA on, a national or even international level. This data is strictly based on the 339 students who have applied to University of Delaware over the past 10 years. I think since 2016, we have the data been collecting and what those students from West Orange High School, what their average GPA and SAT scores. So that's really what makes Naviance different. And it's a different perspective and a different viewpoint on the whole college search process because there's tons of college search engines that report data and all that kind of stuff. This is actually giving you West Orange High School specific data. So that's really the biggest thing. And then you can add colleges to compare and kind of keep this running list. Before you even start with your colleges I'm thinking about list, you can come in here. There's 2 different college searches in Naviance. I'm going to show you guys the Supermatch college search. So this is where you can come in and similar to a bunch of different search engines like College Board, Princeton Review, US News and World Report, you can come in and you can filter for location, for academics, for student life, for institution characteristics, costs. There's a million different filters you could put on, and then it's going to bring back or filter your search with different schools. And then directly from here, you can click them as a favorite, which is going to put them on your schools that you're thinking about list. You can do your search in here, or you can do your search elsewhere and then just manually add schools to your list. But this is something, that I think is really helpful for parents and kids to play around with. And we encourage students to start doing this, the sooner the better. So that's the Supermatch college search. You guys can play around with that. I do also want to mention that we have parent accounts and student accounts. So students will automatically get an account, and then parents will also have access to log in and have all the same features that students have. The difference is that if a parent comes in and does a college search and then adds schools to their list, it's only going to show up just on the parent account. It's not going to show up on the student account, which is totally fine in the earlier years when you're doing your research and you're gathering your information. But we do encourage parents, as the students become juniors going into their senior year, when that list really turns from colleges I'm thinking about to colleges I'm applying to. You can see that there's no schools on this list because this person is a junior. Parents sometimes get confused, like, I had all these schools on my list, why aren't they showing up? It only shows up on the student side. So sometimes parents find it easier just to use their student's account to log in, especially if like you're working collaboratively with them to come up with your list. But parents and students do get their own accounts. They're just not linked. Also under the colleges tab, we have college visits at the high school. So this is not us taking a field trip to the college. This is when college representatives come to our school and meet with students in small groups to learn more about the schools. We've had a really big increase in the number of schools who have been coming to West Orange this year because we just started a new online process where college reps can sign up for visits at our school electronically. It used to be done, I don't want to say the old fashioned way, but they would contact our office. We would set up an appointment. And now colleges have the ability, and it seems like more and more colleges are using Naviance for this feature. It's called rep visits. And we've seen a really big increase in the number of college visits this year. We even just had to limit the amount that we're going to have in a day because we're having so many. So you can see Fairleigh Dickinson, University of Hartford, Stockton, Pitt is coming, NJCU, University of Vermont, and the list, Boston University, the list goes on and on. We're booking now out through the end of the year, and every day we're getting additional emails of requests of schools wanting to come to West Orange High School to meet with students. So we do encourage the students to sign up for those college visits if they're interested in learning about the school. And it's a really great way to kind of have like a small community and get to, ask really personal questions on like a smaller one-on-one basis. Okay, so college visits, colleges I'm thinking about, scholarship search. This is also a feature that students use, especially in their senior year. A common misconception about scholarships is that you start applying for them early on in high school. Most college scholarships, students are not eligible to even apply for until they are seniors. So this becomes a really important feature in senior year for students to come in and search the colleges. We also have a Google Classroom page that we link with that as well, where we post scholarships that are of importance to our students. But it's never too early to come in and start to see the types of scholarships that there are, the criteria that's involved, and things of that nature. So in addition to, doing all of your college research and being able to see West Orange High School specific data, the other really useful tool for Naviance is coming up with or recording all of your extracurricular activities. They just updated this feature, so now you have the ability to come in here. I'm not going to show you the way it looks before. There's still access to the previous resume builder. So if your student is, a junior or a senior right now, they're still going to have access to see their old resume and, change it and edit it and all that kind of stuff. But for any new students who are coming in now, I think that this feature, it's a lot more user friendly. So you can add as much or as little information as you want. You could put a summary in here. They now make it so that you can click like the capabilities add entry and you can kind of choose from different buckets, work experience, achievements, extracurriculars. So you could click on that. And they even give examples like of an extracurricular. So maybe you're going to put a sport in here or a club, the start date, and a little description. So if we were to put in here, I'll just use their example cross country team, team captain, the start date. Kids always ask me about the start date. You can definitely guesstimate. So it's always okay to put in like September 1st of whatever school year. So if they started September 1st, maybe of 2023 when they were a freshman, and then put in the end date. Those are the two things that are required, but don't get too hung up on, the exact dates. It's more of like a guesstimate, or you could just put that it's ongoing and then put in a little description. Team captain, one states, whatever it is. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And then you could even drag and drop to add a file if you wanted to. Where is my button to add? Related capabilities. Oh, and it's adding for more information. So maybe you can put in additional abilities or time management skills. I don't know why it's not showing me. There's usually a little save button. Or maybe it's just my screen is too big. There it is. The Zoom thing was blocking it. And then click add. And you can see that if you were to save this, then it would show up kind of exactly how you put it in. So you can download it as a PDF and edit it however you want. Still working with the specifics. This is a new functionality, so I am still learning about it a little bit, but it's never too early for the students to come in and start playing around with it, because this is a big piece that colleges, trade schools, even scholarships are looking for, is that activities resume, where you kind of record all of the stuff that you do throughout high school. The other thing that I mentioned before was the surveys from your school. So would you like to save your changes? No. I mentioned that each year we have students fill out a survey so we can kind of record information. It's specifically about, I'll show you guys what the junior survey looks like. Personal email addresses, cell phone numbers, so we can get in contact with them. What kinds of professions are you considering? If you plan to attend college, which colleges have you developed an interest in? And this is just a really great conversation starter so that when we do meet with the students, we can come in here and see year to year, has their interest changed? Have they developed new interests in different colleges, different career fields, things of that nature? So it really helps us as the counselors get to know your students better and be able to help them throughout the years. There's many more features on Naviance. I'm going to let Miss Perigros now talk a little bit about the self-discovery and the careers features on Naviance. And then I haven't even looked at the Q&A yet. So I'm going to get working on looking at to see where your questions are. And then I can come back on the end and kind of fill in the gaps of things that maybe I missed or things that you want to learn more about.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to take over and talk to you about the middle schools. So I wanted to show you what it looks like before you log in. I wanted you to pay attention to this. Every middle school is going to have a different URL, and it's important because you can really Google it. And if you have a child at Liberty, at Roosevelt, and at the high school, that means that you as a parent would have 3 different accounts, because there are 3 different URLs, and unfortunately we cannot link those 3 different accounts. So if you have 2 children or 3 children in the same school, we can definitely link your accounts, and you only have one, and then it moves on to the high school. But if you have children in different schools, we cannot. So I just wanted to make you aware of that situation. It's not really a big problem. What I would recommend in that case, like Rachel said, every student is going to have an account anyway, so you could definitely log in under your child's name, or your child could show you, just like on Google Classroom, your child can show you what it looks like as a student. So I'm going to log in as a student. So this is what you would do. I sent an email to all the middle school parents last week to start an account and log in. If you have not received that email, please let me know, and I will make sure to send you the credentials so that you can create your own account. If you want to wait for your child to create their own account, that's completely fine. So it looks a little bit different than the high school. I wanted to show that feature here that allows you to change the language completely of Naviance, which I think is it's a pretty nice feature if you speak another language. And tonight I'm going to be an 8th grader. As you see, a lot less information. However, we post a challenge every month. So I already posted the October challenge. That's going to be for next month. Every month we post something. This month it's simply to watch a video about a certain career cluster. And I think it's a good way for parents and students to get involved and start exploring, because that's really the goal for the middle school. It's going to be to explore careers, options, and start being exposed to different possibilities. And Naviance has a lot of possibilities, sometimes too many. Okay, we start Naviance as for 6th graders, and then as you saw, it goes until they graduate from high school. Once they have their account will be the same until they graduate from high school, so that's easy. For 6th grade, we're going to start a little bit towards the end of the school year. It's a big transition for them, especially this year where they are in buildings with 7th and 8th graders. And they need to focus on a lot of things right now, such as carrying all their things in their arms. So we're going to give them a little bit of time. And by the end of the year, we will definitely give them an account. For all students, we try to keep the same username and password as their Chromebook so that it's easy for them to remember and they don't have to worry too much about anything else. That's a big goal for them to remember username and password. And then they'll take a career assessment. So I want to everybody to be aware those assessments are only for themselves. It's not graded. The students are sometimes concerned about that. So this is the one that they will take in 6th grade. It's more to learn about themselves and how they learn, basically. So, and they can retake it as many times as they want on their own, or we can reset it for them. It's just to know if they learn more when they listen, or when they touch, or when they see. So that it's quite interesting. And again, they can retake it every year because things change. 7th and 8th graders will do monthly activities. All 8th graders should have an account by now. And we're going to create accounts for 7th graders very soon, by the end of the year. I mean, December. And the 7th graders will take the career key assessment. Again, you can try to take it as parents. They ask, it's very repetitive. They ask the same questions. It's basically ask them questions about their interests, and then they link them to different careers. So I guess I took the test, and it comes up at different traits, and then those traits turn into careers, and then you can check on the different careers that you might be interested in. And it's important for middle schoolers to realize that I want to be a neurosurgeon, but what does that entail? What does that mean? I wanted to be a psychiatrist. And when I realized how many times it would take me and how many years I had to study, I changed my mind. So it's interesting for them to see when they link their interests, where do that lead them? And then the 8th graders will take another kind of career assessment that's called Career Cluster Finder. And it's gonna ask them questions, very easy questions. And then it's gonna show them cluster of careers. What might they be interested in? And again, when you click on it, it's gonna give you access to different careers. All these activities are done during the day, during advisory activities, during advisories. So this is not something that's going to be done in math or ELA. And obviously, we encourage you or we can encourage them to do it also at home, so that they can do it, and you can do it with them. They get very excited when they first log in. They look at everything. They also look at colleges. So it's a fun activity. It's a fun website for them. So that's for the career assessments. Now, under careers, there are a few options here. You could explore a career. So if your child already knows what they want to do, then that's easier, I guess. They can type what they want. And I tried. You can type YouTuber and influencer. It works. So electrician, it's just an example. You can see how many years of education. So it could be college. It could be not going to college. Depends. When you click on it, it will tell you what degree you need, how it relates to maybe the career assessment that you took. And then it gives you general information, what it means to be an electrician, employment, that students really love because they can see, depending on where you live, how much money you can make. So that's a very fun activity. And then education, how many years of education you might need. And then Road Trip Nation, which is a great tool. These are very short videos of professionals who talk to students about their profession and how they became an electrician and why they chose that path and what kind of challenges they had to overcome. So they're very short videos, they're real life professionals, and I think it's great for students to hear about it. And then they have a plan of study. If when they read all this, they're not really interested, Naviance also offers similar careers. So maybe they don't really want an electrician in that area. Maybe they want to do it in a different area. And then you have a lot of other options. So it's great because you have all those options, but I can see how it can be overwhelming because you have too many of them. That's why we show them all those features, and then they know how to use the website. So that's if your child knows what they want to do. If they don't know what they want to do, they can definitely go under Explore Clusters and Pathways. Again, the goal is really to explore. So there is no wrong answer here. If they say, I really love to travel, they can go under Hospitality and Tourism and see where it takes them. Lodging, travel, and tourism. And again, once they click on it, it's going to take them to similar pages with their path, general information. If they read it, they don't like it, they go to similar pathways and see what can be offered to them. And the third thing, like I mentioned, is Road Trip Nation. There are 3 ways that they can do it, either by interests, so acting, engineering, journalism, and then again, you can access those videos. It's not loading, but it should. And then by themes, change, doubt, and the third one is by leaders. So if they see something interesting, they can definitely click there and start exploring. I think that's about it for the middle school level. At the middle school level, we don't really use Naviance as a way to communicate with parents. We use School Messenger. I'm going to stop sharing. This is what we do. And so if you don't see anything from Naviance, that's normal because we use a different system. But it would be nice for you to have an account by the high school so that you know that everything is going to be coming through Naviance. And I think that's about it for now.
It looks like we answered the questions that were in the Q&A. I'm not sure if anyone has any more additional questions. Feel free to type them in now. Otherwise, you're welcome to email myself or Ms. Paragoros with questions. We'd be happy to. I will say that we also use the careers and self-discovery features at the high school. And it's really fun to see how the kids' interests and career paths change over the years.
Also, it's interesting because when they take those career assessments, they always ask, it says I need to be this, but I really don't like it. Do I have to do it? So,
And those career assessments are really helpful in terms of figuring out classes that students might be interested in. At the high school, we have so many different elective classes that students can kind of get a taste of what it might be like if they were to choose that as a college major or to pursue that. So we use those answer their survey results a lot of times during scheduling, and I'm like, oh, I see that you were interested in X, Y, or Z. And then we can try to recommend some classes that might be like a suitable fit. I don't see any other questions. Thank you for everyone's time. This recording will be available in a couple of days, and we'll send it out to you. I also have a survey that we were going to post the link for. If not, I will send it out to everyone just for feedback for us, maybe more areas that you'd like to see more demonstrations or feedback so we can make this a useful night.
there is when
There's two
we send
questions. Okay.
when we send the recording, we will also send a PowerPoint that that will re-explain everything to you. Thank you for participating.
So thank you very much, and I want to have to wish everyone a great night, and we'll see you at the next one.
All right. Thank you, everyone.